Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Blast the Process, where we are raising Sega awareness by playing a bunch of Sega games just for you. Many thank yous to Lizstar for that amazing pony run. No problem. Anyway, so we have with us ToeJam and Earl. Hold on, I'm trying to find which one of you two is running this. There it is. HoodyTwoShoes, how you doing?
Doing great.
Good. Glad to hear it. There's two people on this call. HoodyTwoShoes is accompanied by Seawalker, and they will. Hi. And without further ado, you two take it away from me, please. Go ahead.
All right. Well, welcome. I am HoodyTwoShoes. This is ToeJam and Earl. Funky game released in 1991. You can see here our main titular characters, ToeJam and Earl. Right now we have Big Earl at the wheel acting crazy, and as you'll see in about a second here, it's not really a good idea to let Earl drive. He's kind of swerving in and out of asteroids here, really swagging out, and sometimes you're going to get burned when you do stuff like this. And there's a natural repercussion, and here it comes right about... Oh, now. And I just wanted to do that to show you this little glitch here. Normally when you start the game, you don't have their faces stuck in the background, you just have the regular background. I'm quiet? Oh, that's too bad. Am I quieter than Seawalker?
Apparently, Hoodie, you're a little quiet. Can you boost your mic a little bit?
I absolutely can, yeah.
Also, that is art. Like that is just straight up like a painting. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and it continues all the way until you start the game. So even on this menu here, it's still there. You have to push start at the moment when they hit the asteroid and their faces are like that, and you can get this to happen. So just a little Easter egg for everybody out there. And without too much further ado, we're going to get started here. So I will count down, and then I'm going to let Seawalker here do a lot of the commentary while I'll play. I'll say stuff when there's something to say, but other than that, I'm going to let Seawalker do a lot of the talking. He is the second most active runner of this game right now, currently third place on the leaderboard, I think like 2 seconds behind second place, so Seawalker is the man. So without too much more ado, if we are good on the volume, I'm going to count us down. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go, and on go, I'm going to go.
We're good.
So,
good luck.
This is not a marathon safe run per se. We're going to hope for the best. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so here we go. Talk a little bit about Fixed World. The ship pieces are in the same location every time, and the presents are actually the same every time, just their icons change. But we have the locations memorized so we know what's inside them. So even when you see Hoodie open up his menu, you'll see question marks, but we do know what they are. And just another little tidbit is the Earthlings that we see, they are RNG based, but there is certain ones that are you'll find on each level.
Yeah, like the list of Earthlings on each level is static. You're going to find the same number and type of each Earthling on the level. Where they spawn is what's random. So, like right here, if we see Hula Girls on level 3 here, like that's pretty bad RNG, but it's up to the RNG. That's one of the RNG elements. And wouldn't you know it? But we got lucky she didn't make us dance, so we're still doing great. It's really frustrating. So like when I run this game, I think I turn a lot of people off of it because of how much I reset, and that's because the time that I'm going for is like outrageous. It's absurd. No one should try for that level of RNG luck, I guess. So I reset a lot, but in general, this run's like not that hard to do. I would say, if you're not looking for like the most perfect time.
Yeah, I think I pretty much picked up the run in one weekend. There's a lot of good resources on speedrun.com. You'll find maps, you'll find notes on exactly what to do, and it's pretty easy to get a good time.
So there, I wanted to open the elevator while I was still on the skates, but I didn't get the door open, but it's okay. But I lost like half a second there as to what could be optimum, but it's, again, not a big deal. So levels 1 through 5 are static. There's not much that's going to change from run to run. Earthling locations, yeah, will change. Like maybe you get Hula Girled or poked or something. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same every time. And the first real test of the extreme RNG that we're doing is going to come here on level 6 when I start using doorways.
Oh, I forgot to time this just to see how the elevator load was. That's one thing we haven't figured out is the loading screen between level 4 and level 5 seems to vary anywhere between 14 and 17 seconds. All the rest of the screens
It was a little bit of a slow load that time. All right, here we go. First test.
All right, now we have some true
Wow,
RNG coming up.
That was not a bad doorway at all.
Oh,
Especially
very
in this
nice.
setting, that was pretty great. Now I need to avoid this mole, so I lost a little bit of time there, but getting mold, losing my presence and not being able to use the mobility items in the way that I need to is very, very detrimental to the run.
Yeah,
So,
in the fixed
I need
world,
to-
a fixed world run, if you get a mole that catches you, he'll kind of shake you, and you'll lose some of your presence, and that can just be an absolute run killer.
Yeah, it's brutal in random world too, but it's like a death kiss in fixed world essentially. Unless he just takes one doorway, might be okay, but you don't really want to lose your doorways.
Yeah, question in chat: is there a task of ToeJam and Earl? Slabbity Slab did a task of the fixed world run. I'm not sure where it is if he put it up on YouTube or not, but I know he did one. It was
I
about
posted a link to it in the Discord,
okay.
but I don't know. It might be buried, far down the list.
Level 7 is one of my favorite levels because it's just flying to the elevator.
It's literally just holding down. It's just straight down and fly.
Okay,
Great.
Slab said it is up on YouTube. Thank you, Slab.
I don't think I need the extra tile, but you get level ups in this game, promotions. You can see I'm a doofus in the bottom left of the screen. And certain promotions come with extra lives, and there's an animation that happens where you can't move when you get an extra life. And so, generally on level 11, during this, get wrecked, Slab. Generally on level 11 during the fixed world run, you promote to Poindexter, and you want to try to skip that animation, and so there's like a little wiggle room in level 8 to try to open up another tile to get another point to finesse the promotion on level 11, but I didn't have to do it there. Sorry,
Level
that was
9's
hilarious.
another pretty easy one, just hopping across. Usually nothing to worry about. The lawnmower man can kind of get in your way sometimes right off the elevator. But usually a pretty simple level.
So here's where I remind myself that I only used one doorway on level 6 because the location of the presence in my menu is going to change depending on how many I use on 6, and so I want to know what to do to open my rocket skates in a second here. Bees. Oh no! I just wasted some high tops. So that's too bad that I wasted a pair of high tops there, so now on level 13, I'm not going to be able to use any high tops.
Even though we've
Not the
done
end
this
of the
run
world.
hundreds and in Hoody's cases thousands of times, it's still easy to make a menuing mistake like that. So as Hoodie was mentioning, the backup strats, we're going to try and get a really good doorway, and then he'll just be able to walk to the elevator, and that would kind of take care of it. So that'll be on level 13. You'll want to watch for that.
Yeah, it's just a time loss. It's not a catastrophic anything at this point. So this is a very dangerous level for this marathon. If I get mold here, we're in a world of trouble. And there's hula girls that can make me stop dancing, so I'm going to get Poindextered here. I should have skipped the animation, but it's whatever. So if there's a hula girl down here and this mole gets me, but there's not, so not too much to worry about there.
So one of the things that we normally do, we try to skip that animation during a fixed world run, and that actually saves us about 3 to 4 seconds, and we can generally do that just by jumping through the air.
There was a way for me to skip it where I got it on the screen there, but I just wasn't interested in maybe falling off the edge on accident, so I took the 3-second, 4-second time loss. the end of this level is also another potential hazard. There's really often like a bunch of moles near the elevator, and they can be pretty problematic. So if there's a mole real close to oh my gosh, like I had to do that just about as perfect as I did to not have that be a disaster. So,
Oh, look at that. Yep. Jeez.
so I went bold. And it paid off.
That was
It could have been a
smooth.
huge disaster. If you miss a ship piece, the game doesn't end when you grab the ship piece on 25. You'll have to fall back down to wherever the ship piece was and grab it for the game to end.
That can be a strategy in random world. If you just don't have the items and it's out kind of on an island and you can't figure out how to get there.
We're doing bad things here, Seawalker.
Uh-oh.
Alright, this is going to be fine. So I used 3 doorways there, just need to remember that. So I can only use 1 extra doorway on any of the other levels. I'm not sure if I remember exactly where the the land opens on this level. But this is going to be a disaster here on 13 to a certain extent, but... Oh, it might be down there that I have to... I think that this is the way I have to go, without the shoes. So we're going to waste like 40 some odd seconds on this level, maybe? Maybe a minute. So right here is where, like that doorway, those 2 doorways that I did before, the one that took me way up to the top of the map and the one that put me on the little island, I would have reset gladly after the second doorway on this level if I was doing a regular run. But
Yeah. The other thing is, if we had the high tops, we probably could have used that first doorway.
yeah, the first doorway would have been great for our purposes with the high tops, but really that really burns that I wasted them on level 10 with the miss menu there. Sometimes my controller has been eating my inputs, and I think that that's kind of what happened there. So I'll have to be a little bit more deliberate here and see if I can just, you know, not waste any more presents. Because the time isn't really like it. There's no point in being, you know, a couple tenths of a second faster in the menuing at this point.
So far, there hasn't been really any horrible RNG. We would have been in trouble if we had lost a pair of rocket skates. But
yeah,
that level,
losing the high tops was like the acceptable thing that could have happened.
yeah,
At that point.
it needs more Dalmatian presence. That's right. So we've had a thing going on in ToeJam and Earl where we're all trying to decide like what the names of the presents are, and so we took a quiz, and like it was unanimous that the white present with the black spots we all referred to as a Dalmatian present.
We just weren't sure how to spell it. We all spelled
Yes,
it
there
differently.
might have been 6 different ways of spelling it.
Allie spelled it right there in chat.
So one thing to note here that I want to talk about was you see Hoodie but he is jumping across those gaps. That's actually really important on level 15 because it's going to just make the route that much shorter where it ends up extending the duration of the high tops into level 16, which he'll be able to use to run all the way to the elevator through the sand or cheese.
Yeah, I want to have the high tops last all the way until I use the Icarus wings on level 17. So if you get squashed on level 15 or hula girled, or if your movement isn't tight, your high tops might not even last you to the end of level 16. Oh, that's not ideal. Probably gonna end up dying on this run here on level 21 from a boogeyman. Still got a little bit of high tops, but some of that movement was bad in the boogeyman.
Got away from the nerds too. Yeah, the higher we get up, the scarier those boogeymen get, just because they're invisible, so we never know when we're going to run into one, unless they happen to reveal themselves in time.
And if I'm using the rocket skates and I run into an invisible boogeyman, it's going to make me change the path that I'm taking and potentially knock me off the edge of the level and down a level, which is like a huge nightmare. So, just going to hope that the RNG is with us and we don't run into any invisible boogeymen.
Yeah, if it does happen, what you guys will see is Hoodie will be going pretty fast on the rocket skates, and just out of nowhere, he'll have a direction turn. It'll almost look like he just purposely did it.
Like I decided to turn and jump off the edge. But you know, some days.
Yeah, this looked like a pretty good 17.
Oh, the ice cream trucks? Yeah, the ice cream trucks aren't really an issue in the fixed world run, just because of the presence that you use for all the levels. You're generally in a situation where you're not in danger in the run here. Things I die to are nerds and boogeymen. I mean, sometimes the ice cream truck at the end of the level on 22.
So right now, Hoody's picking up a couple of rocket skates that we're going to be using on 19 and 20. We just kind of hop across the gap, and then we're going to be on our way to 19.
When I was doing some practice runs, 19 was a level where I ran into an invisible boogeyman and fell off the edge, so I'm just for the best here. I'm gonna hope for the best.
So we can see that Hoodie doesn't have a lot of life left, and so that just kind of reminded me of the difference between ToeJam and Earl that people may not know about. Earl actually has a little bit more health, which we typically don't need, but he walks slower, and so that's where in the fixed world or random world, if you're watching any of us speedrunners, we're always using ToeJam.
Yeah, Earl is slower, and it makes a huge difference as far as trying to get away from Earthlings when you're walking. And his pants fall down randomly and waste time.
Yes. So I've actually attempted some fixed world runs as Earl, and even if the pants don't fall down, there's still always that chance, and you just never know. You can see the motions that Hoodie's taking here on these rocket skates on level 20, just trying to make sure that he gets that little bit of extra distance, that duration for these rocket skates.
Yeah, Earl is pretty much everybody's favorite, I think. But not if you start trying to speedrun and you try to play as Earl, he will quickly not be your favorite. We've got a meme category of sorts called Alive on 25, where the whole goal is you're Earl, you can't use any presents, and the goal is to make it to level 25 alive. You don't have to get any ship pieces or anything. You just have to make it to 25. And it is not an easy endeavor to walk only with no presents and make it past all the Earthlings.
We're on level 21 now. This is kind of where it really starts to get hairy with boogeymen. And I'm surprised and thankful, though, that we have not seen any yet.
I'm going to take this doorway, especially considering I used several on 13. So another doorway level here. I'm going to grab these pancakes and take this path because the boogeyman scares me. Yeah, level 21 is a pretty big level. It's maybe the hardest level to get a good doorway on.
That's some pretty good improvising.
That wasn't awful right there, what just happened. So, feeling pretty good. I got some pancakes, I think.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
And normally I wouldn't have wasted the time, but, you know, I figure I might as well try to stay alive here.
Yes, Rasher says screw 21 and 22. When we play Random World, we will, if we game over, it's going to be on 22 because you can see all this sand or cheese, whatever you prefer, and cheese. That's right. And you can see all these ice cream trucks, and it's just nearly impossible to get away from them unless you have items. And so you can see that the fixed world run is just laid out in such a way that the ice cream trucks really don't pose a challenge to us.
This level is one of the hardest in the run. And another potential place where I'm going to get knocked off the edge. Oh, that dentist could be a problem on the way back. We'll see. Those bees, too. We'll see. Oh, well, we spawned the land. That's going to waste a little time, but it's not the biggest deal. It's just a time expenditure. Where are my high tops there?
Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty good. That's a.
The Earthling RNG. What are you gonna do? You know.
Oh no. Rip.
What are you gonna do?
I was always afraid of the dentist.
He was in a bad spot. At least they didn't knock me off the edge, him or the bees. So I'm gonna take that result happily here in this marathon. Just a death is pretty safe. Not a worry. A little bit of a time.
Now we're feeling a little bit safer. 24 and 25, a little bit easier levels here. So we got past the scary stuff.
Nice. That was a great doorway.
Maybe I just jinxed
us. So we're
us.
on the home stretch here. Just one more level to go. 25. I got 2 doorways and some Icarus wings.
Okay, we're really safe now.
We could do sub 20 here. Or not sub 20, sub 21, I mean. Sub 20 would have been really cool. Okay. So we will be finishing when I grab the ship piece. As soon as like the screen changes and I grab the ship piece, that's
going to be time.
And I am going to go for the swag, I think, which is a little hazardous, but, you know. What's life without a little fun? Oh, the bees. The bees.
Oh, no.
Oh, the bees. I'm not going to do the swag. I'm sorry, everybody. So right here, when I grab this, it's time. So that was like 20, 30 something. It's a pretty good time for no reset.
That wasn't too bad. That turned out pretty good.
Yeah, the real waste of time was me flubbing the menu on level 10 and wasting the high top. If I didn't waste the high tops there, this would have potentially been sub 20.
GG, Hoodie.
It would have been crazy. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. Got our spaceship back, and we're flying all the way home to Funkatron.
And one thing that that we don't get to see is that ToeJam and Earl actually have some Earthlings on the spaceship, which then spawns the ToeJam and Earl Panic on Funkatron.
Yeah, they stowed away.
That's right.
Surprisingly large number of them stowed away, the size of our spaceship. And here we are landed on our home planet of Funkatron. There's a little ending scene here. You get to do a little victory walk to be so excited about finishing the game. Everyone's really happy to see you back home on Funkatron. You get our gold yellow brick road to victory.
Follow the yellow brick road.
We'll see some Funkatronians here soon. There we go. We got a Brack coming. I didn't go close enough to the dog for it to brack at me. My hero! There's a Brack. Definitely jamming. Yeah! And we gotta go and find our hedgehog friend, or no hedgehogs around here friend. We'll find her. Welcome back. What did you bring me? I didn't bring you nothing. So hidden away up here, there's a lady that makes a mention of hedgehogs. No hedgehogs around here.
I love that.
We get to continue on our merry way. I didn't bring you anything, I told you. Where's my money? I don't know anything about that, dude. Rapturous Jubilation. That's my favorite one. And here we are. We made it all the way home to our Look at Earl. What took you so long? What a guy. What a guy. I did all the work. Literally all of the work. You did nothing. So this is the end, but there's still one more Easter egg to show off here. So we're going to swim down here for a while with our, apparently ToeJam can swim endlessly on Funkatron. He has no need for oxygen in the water here.
Always good to celebrate a good run with getting the end scene.
And I like to have the end and then go where I'm going to. That's the true end for me.
Yes.
This is another little Easter egg hidden away. If you don't explore all through the water here, you'll miss it. Sort of like you'll miss the hot tub if you don't explore all of level 1.
Aludra, that's actually pretty funny. That's right.
Trixie's Island. ToeJam and Earl both planted their flags here. Oh, you're good. And the true ending. We made it to Trixie. Oh, I've been so lonely. Not anymore, baby. And that's it. That's ToeJam and Earl.
Run is complete.
GG. All right. Again,
thanks everyone for watching.
HoodyTwoShoes and Seawalker. Thanks again for joining us for Blast.
Thanks everyone.
What a showing. But did I hear you guys say something about hedgehogs? Is that
I
a
did.
thing?
Hi.
Hedgehogs?
Yeah. There's no hedgehogs in Funkatron.
I had stepped out for a second, came back right at the perfect time. Yay! Good job.
Yay! So we were segueing into Sonic or hedgehogs or tails or something.
Oh,
Is that what's going on?
Is hedgehogs going on?
I don't know.
Are we there? Oh, we are at hedgehogs.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Great run. Thank you all for sticking around. It is indeed hedgehogs time. Just give us like a few moments and we'll be right back with the first game of the Sonic block, Sonic the Hedgehog with Clom. I think that's how you pronounce it. I assume it's not Clom.